The Howard Stern Show.
Papa Pohi.
Papa Bowie. Papa Funky. Papa
Flowley. Hey, you know, just before I get to the Nambla tape, just to give you an idea of how Fafa Flowley has taken over the country, I got a fax. Did you read this?
No.
It says, Dear Howard, you have now really infiltrated every crack in society. I was recently serving on jury duty in U.S. federal court. Our case involved an alleged Nigerian drug smuggler named Michael Faforower. Surprisingly, most members of the jury were highly educated. However, when deliberating the verdict, some members had difficulty pronouncing the alleged drug smuggler's name until one member put it best by calling him Michael Fafafui. I thought you would appreciate this information. So that even in the jury room,
they're using Fafafui.
Fafafoli.
Flowy.
Michael Fafaflafla.
Flowy. Fow.
Pow.
Papa Pohai. Fee-fi fo-fo. Papa Flowly. Fo-flee-fo-fo. Papa fo-fo. Fooey.
Fee-fe-fi-fo-fo.
Pow-pow-pooey.
Papa-poiny.
Papa Fooey.
Papa-fooly.
Papa Flunky. Pao-flee-fooey.
Sto-sto-stai.
Fo-fooey.
Stai-sto-stui.
Retard.
Baba Booey Mobile. All right, very good. Yeah. Hey, Gary's on the cover of Time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. I saw that cover.
Is that the brand new one?
Yeah.
Baba Booey's on the cover of the new Time magazine. You got to buy it.
Mama Monkey.
Doesn't it say something like the first man?
No, how man began. Look, you're on the cover.
Can I tell you how bad? Can I tell you how bad you guys are?
Why?
What you've done to me?
What?
My wife and I went out grocery shopping the other night while we were waiting to pay.
Yeah.
My wife picks up the magazine and she says, "Look, you're on the cover of Time magazine."
Oh, your own wife.
Your own wife.
Oh, no.
Baba Boai.
Flowly.
Bafoey.
You wouldn't think you'd have to take it from her.
Oh, man. Foo-foo-foo-foo. You just gotta go look at Time magazine cover and know that it's Baba Bowie.
Baba Bowie.
Baba Bohai.
Baba Bowie. Baba Bowie.
Because he actually
Baba
did
Bowie.
make the cover.
Baba Louie.
Baba Bowie.
Wow. And then they have Gary crawling out of the ocean.
I would.
They actually recreated that.
Yeah, they actually have that famous painting.
Can I?
Go back one page. Oh.
Can I?
Look at this, Robin.
Oh, I can't see.
Oh, you got to take off the glasses. Look at this.
Gary on the run.
Can I at least be?
You got to buy Time magazine, and the inside is how man began, and then it's a big picture of Gary naked. Right?
Can I at least be Homo erectus?
He even has your haircut.
I don't have that beard.
Oh man, come on. Look at the hair.
It's even graying like mine.
Flowy.
Flee flew fluely.
He's running to an appearance.
He's at the custom car show.
Keep eating, Mortland. Keep eating. Jackie's getting close to his old density.
Oh yeah.
We're psyched.
All right, hey, let's get to the Nambla tapes. Never mind that. Never mind Baba Bo Nye. Baba Bo Bo.
Bona Babo.
We did a whole long obituary of Jack Spector, who used to work with us at NBC. He died while he was on the air yesterday.
Yeah.
We did about a half hour on it, which was a beautiful tribute, I thought. He was a really cool guy, though. You know, in his own way. He was a nice man.
Nice man.
He died on the air. Oh, man, is that embarrassing.
You think that's embarrassing?
Oh, please.
I don't know what's embarrassing.
First of all, you know, in radio, I would love to interview the people who were there when Jack Spector died on the air. I am sure, knowing radio, right away they panic because there's dead air.
Right.
There's nothing.
And the most important thing.
Most important thing is to get the radio station back on the air. Then
remember that old story you used to tell where the guys had this emergency plan, like if there was a fire or something at the radio station, the disc jockey was supposed to go down with the station.
Yeah, I mean, God forbid that station, WHLI should be off the air for 5 seconds, but everyone panics. But I can just picture, like, Spector, like, curled over in his chair. These guys come in, they realize he's dead. Before they even realize he's dead, they just say, Jack, quick, get a record on. He doesn't move. So I picture them, like, pushing Jack's chair back.
Well, they got to pull him up first.
Smack him in the back of the head.
Yeah, but no, I see them like they bring in another disc jockey to get on the air quick and just sitting in Jack's lap. It's Jack's dead lap.
Yeah, because they got to pull
taking
him
over
back,
his chair.
and to keep him from falling over again, you have to sit on it.
Jack, you got to move, damn it, move. You're not going to move. I'm going to sit on you. Get up. Get up. The station's off the air. Get up. Or like he's laying on the floor and there's like standing on him.
And, 60 is not that old.
Well, Jack was a smoker, which I was not aware of either.
I didn't ever see him smoke.
I don't know if he had cancer. Did he have cancer of the eye or something?
He had some kind of cancer and he beat it. And that's why I don't ever remember him smoking.
Did he have cancer of the eye?
Did he have a glass eye?
I think he did.
He had a glass. Did he have cancer of the eye?
He had a glass eye.
Then I goofed about it to him one time, and he got all freaked out. He bummed out real big time.
That was his lucky glass.
He had a glass eye, but he had cancer of the eye. But I knew it was from the secondary smoke because it just goes up into your eye.
Yeah.
And he's like that.
It didn't have any effect going into his body?
I guess not.
Oh, you.
Just had a heart attack. That's all. Yeah, but he beat the cancer.
He was one of the few guys there that really, really liked you.
How do we figure out that he had cancer of the eye? I mean, how do we know that?
We ask around.
Somebody had been calling saying he had a glass eye.
Right. His producer would tell us.
Right.
Nothing sacred.
Right. Because I never looked that close at his face to figure that out. But he was a cool guy. I mean, really, when I got fired from NBC, he called me every night. I mean, it got annoying. After a while, I wouldn't take his calls.
Now that you say it again, I do remember you saying, man, I got to keep away from these Jack Spector phone calls.
Yeah, I mean, at first it was kind of nice. It was like, hey, this is Jack Spector. Howard, I know I've been through it, and I've told you a million times you need FU money. But I got to tell you, it's terrible that you're gone, and something good. Anything turning up?
You were a great lead-in.
Yeah, right, great lead-in. I'm sorry to see you go. They gave him a sports talk show, and he knew nothing about sports. That was the concept of Incubus, John Hayes.
He was really upset, I remember, because it was, well, what are they doing to me? My lead-in is gone.
Yeah, well, John Hayes, the Incubus general manager of NBC, decided he wanted a sports show at night. So I told him, why don't you call Art Russ Jr.? So he interviewed him, and he found out Art Russ Jr. actually gets paid money.
Yeah.
So Incubus said, well, I don't want to pay anybody that's good. Not that Jack wasn't a good disc jockey, he wasn't a sports guy. So he goes, I interviewed Jack Spector. He doesn't know anything about sports, but we're going to do a show for guys who don't know anything about sports. Like, he'll learn with the audience. I go, oh, that sounds really good.
Yes, this was his great innovation in sports talk radio.
Well, that's why he's nothing. I said, wait a second, let me get this straight. Jack doesn't know anything about sports? I said, the whole appeal of sports shows is that some guy's an expert.
Yeah, has an opinion, he's authority.
Yeah, he's an authority. People want an authority on sports. And, of course, Hayes gave me a look like you don't know anything. Which he always did. All these managers think they know more than me. I said, gee, this seems pretty basic. You're going to have to shell out some bucks. I think Art Russ Jr. actually wanted to get paid.
Actually, the people on the phones would wind up talking to each other.
Yeah.
Because they knew more about sports than Jack.
I used to call in under an assumed name and do like 10. I'm going to play it for you tomorrow. 10 or 15 minutes I do on there.
Yeah, Jack would keep you on forever.
Yeah.
Because he was so afraid of getting a call where the guy didn't like it.
Yeah, right. But he was a cool guy, so he would call me every night. But then it got kind of annoying because it was like, oh, what, Howard, how you doing? Any offers? Any offers from other stations? And I'd be like, no. Dude, you're giving me a little too much pressure here.
It's the weekend.
Yeah, mellow out. I'm in a bad enough situation. You got a job. Hey, who wants a guy calling every minute? Any offers? If I had a few offers, it would have been okay. Hey, Jack, I just got fired. But I liked him. I like Jack Spector. It says in the paper he died doing what he did best. Yeah, fill-in work on WHLI in Hempstead. Yeah, that's what he liked best. I think Sex with a Monkey is preferable to doing fill-in work on WHLI in Hempstead, Long Island. It's not exactly the pinnacle of your career. Yeah. Anything, he died of boredom. I don't think it was a heart attack. This sucks.
My life has come to this.
I used to be on WFCA.
I was a good guy.
Why go on? I'm dropping dead. He died doing what he loved best. That's what I think it was the program director of WHLI or somebody they interviewed. David Hinckley wrote that. He died doing what he loved best.
I'm not listening to one more freaking song.
Yeah. If I have to hear one more Karen Carpenter record, what's the use?
Captain and Tennille.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Life stinks.
Run your own promos.
I'm out of here. What was his motto on the air?
Look out.
Look out. Look out, street. Here I come.
He should have said, look out, floor.
Look out, floor, here I come. I'm at WHLI.
Look out, Forest Lawn.
I mean, here's a guy who was a professional, top of his craft, worked as a WMCA good guy, which, you know, you laugh, you say, what do you mean top of his craft? What kind of craft is that? But, I mean, the guy wanted to be a disc jockey. You couldn't do any better than being a WMCA good guy or one of the WABC guys.
That's right. He was there at the height.
And look what the future held for him. You know, at least there's some dignity in other jobs. When you're a doctor and you retire, it's kind of, you get older, you become maybe you are on a board somewhere, you advise younger doctors. When you're the President of the United States, you them give speeches, you go to Japan, get $2 million. Jack Spector had made it to the top of his craft. He goes on, and where is he? In Hempstead, Long Island, the WHLI.
Checking off a playlist.
Yeah.
Did I play Gary Puckett?
Yeah, listening to some 23-year-old new program director tell you what you're doing wrong.
Oh, jeez. Did I play Gary Puckett?
It's all yours, Cousin Brucey. It's all yours.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Oh.
He was a good guy. He was a good guy.
Hey, him and the Nambla guys.
Hey, speaking of Nambla, I wanted to do this earlier in the show. They might have to wait till tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh.
John was at the Nambla press conference.
We gotta hear this.
But it's long. I mean, it's involved.
Do part 1 and part 2.
What? What? Anyway, goodbye, Jack Spector. You were a good guy. Even though you were kind of annoying when I got fired.
He was a good guy.
But I'll play that phone call tomorrow in honor of Jack. And I will sign off today's show with Jack's sign-off. So a lot of people are going to want to stay tuned for that. I'm going to say... What am I going to say, Robin?
Look out, street.
Look out, street. Here I come.
Look out, street.
Look out, streets.
Here I come.
Isn't the plural of street?
No, street.
Oh, yeah, right, streets. Yeah, you walk down many streets. Many street. Yeah, right. Hey, can we find out what song Jack was playing when he died? Seriously, I'd be curious. I mean, is that too morbid?
No.
Well, not for you.
us.
You're right.
Please.
Was it something ironic? Like, you know...
Oh, no.
The end.
Right, this is the end. Anything will be ironic, you know that. I'm stepping out, right? Stepping out.
I feel good.
I feel good. Wow, I feel good. No, you don't. I don't want to go out playing a song. I really don't.
I mean, it could happen to any of us anytime.
I wish I could interview someone who was there. Like, did everyone run in and, like, did they try to revive them, or did they try to get a record on the air and then revive them?
Get a record on the air.
I'll bet you any amount of money it was get a record on the air.
Oh, definitely.
Hey, look, the guy's dead. What's the point? Let's get, no point in having dead air and a dead guy. What's it say?
I'm in the mood for love.
Is that what he was playing?
I'm in the mood for love?
I'm in the mood for love? Well, no, he wasn't.
Second paragraph.
Get out of here. According to WHLI General Manager Jane Barch, at about 11:45 a.m., the station was silent after I'm in the Mood for Love.
I'm on the floor for good.
A duet by Louis Prima and Keely Smith. That was Jack's song, she said. Oh, get out of here. That's too weird. Well, he was a real nice man. And his advice to me always was, get a few money. Get a glasses business. Who's that? Oh, that's the number for WHLI?
Yeah, but maybe...
Well, why don't you call up and see if you can get a representative to come on the air? All right. See if we can just interview Mrs. Bard.
Baba Booey.
Hey, call up and ask for Jack.
Oh.
That would be weird. But record it if you did.
Say, we really like that guy who was on yesterday, and
He was
then
funny.
suddenly he was off, and we don't know what happened.
Hi, I'm a big Jack Spector fan. I was listening to the station yesterday, and it wasn't the end of Jack's shift. I was enjoying the show. What happened?
You put me on hold.
So here's his uncle from out of town.
Yeah, I need to speak to him. And I'm sure they didn't explain anything on the air like Jack had died.
No.
I'm sure it was just like, another deep voice guy came on the air and just was like taking over.
Continued to play music.
And the sad part is the audience probably noticed the difference. I should call up and say, I'm from a big station in Chicago, and I'd like to hire Jack Spector. And then they'll go, well, he died, but can I talk to you about the job?
Ravenous.
Yeah, right, ravenous disc jockeys. Hey, we know another disc jockey who died. What was that guy, remember, who came to work at NBC?
It was that Joe O'Brien, wasn't it?
No, not Joe O'Brien. He's still alive.
Is he?
What was the guy's name from Chicago?
That's who I thought that was. He was the Blue Blazer guy.
Oh, that guy you're talking about. No. That was, No.
Gary Coffin.
What was his name, Fred? You know that guy.
I thought that was the thing.
He had like those big choppers. Big fake teeth.
It's not
Joel.
Yes, Joel was the name. Joel what?
Rifkin?
No.
Joel Rifkin with you?
Yeah, that's him.
I gotta take a break. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the Nambla tapes. I might have to do it tomorrow. Well, what do you want from me? We were sitting talking to the boxer.
Do not despair.
Come on, a little bit.
Little teaser?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, you win. But I want to also hear the People's Choice Awards.
Oh, well, we will.
What is it, Fa-Fa-Fo-Lai?
The woman from WHLI she's too upset to come on the air.
Really?
So
I want to do my tribute.
She's going to wait. There's some other representatives from the station who will be in a little while. Maybe they'll talk. She's just too upset to talk on the air.
Really? Because she saw Jack sitting there. That's tough to see. I mean, seriously, thinking about the reality, you walk in, one of the jocks is sitting there dead. I mean, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah, that's
and like, what do you do? Someone had to take him and wheel him away from the console so that he's 6'3", 200 pounds. They had to wheel him back, and get to the records.
Well, I've seen a lot of dead bodies.
And
I know, Robin, but you're used to it.
You know the story, Howard, about
show up.
Hey, Fred, imagine someday you walk in and you find Alison Steele keeled over. You got to move her.
Every day I come in here expecting that.
That's why Fred's late. He's hoping somebody.
I don't want to be the guy to find her.
Fred came in this morning. He says to me, "Oh my God, disc jockey died." I go, "No, I know, Jack Spector." No, I think Alison Steele just. I don't know. I said she's still breathing. I was just making out with her.
Fred is requesting that somebody be assigned to go into the studio with him.
Yeah.
Just poke her with a stick.
She's just napping.
I'm sure. Do you think anyone listens to her show on the overnights? I mean,
yes, I see faxes in there for her.
Really?
Sure.
I wonder if anyone would know she was dead. Imagine she was dead for 4 hours. No one knew. That's the worst.
It's quitting time.
It's quitting time.
Oh no!
Beats don't fail me now.
It's quitting time for the Nightbird.
Over and out. Well, she died doing what she loved best, doing overnights after 50 years in the business.
She must love it.
She'd be in the middle of a poem. She was mid-poem. Roses are red. Violets are... Violets are... Well, we celebrate the life of Jack Spector because he was a great man. He really was a very nice man. I'm the only guy I got along with at NBC.
Yep.
Out of all of them. Can you imagine the tribute we do to a guy we didn't like? You know what? But tell the general manager not to be upset because Jack was doing what he loved.
Do not despair.
He loved working at a rinky-dink radio station.
And by the way, just so you know, when I call information, it's not Hempstead, it's Garden City. Although I happen to know it's right on the border. And
no, WHLI is Hempstead, Long Island.
It could go either way.
But they moved the transmitter to Garden City.
Right.
Because who wants to be associated with Hempstead?
Because they're on North Franklin Street, right in the middle of this really bad neighborhood.
I know. Well,
poor Jack.
On behalf of us and Jack and Jack's family and his 2 listeners, I must say, it was a good man that left us.
How much of the shift was over? How much have you got?
That's a very interesting question. Robin, let me answer that question after these words. Don't have so much fun back there, boys.
We're back to the Howard Stern Show.
I want to get to the Nambla tapes and everything, but I must tell you, Robin, on our phone, we are fortunate to have with us Jane. You ever didn't write that? Barch. Jane?
Hello.
Hi, is this Jane Barch?
Yes, it is.
Hi, I forgot your name for a second.
That's okay.
But, it's a funny thing about our business, the radio business. It was weird for a guy like Jack Spector who had reached the height, right, Jane? He'd reached the height as a WMCA good guy and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he was just doing like fill-in work on WHLI. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Well, I mean, he was doing what he loved, and he was happy at WHLI. And, when the doctor said that it was over, I said, well, at least he died doing what he loved to do. And he loved being on the radio, whether it was WHLI or WCBS-FM. He just loved it.
Didn't matter where it was.
He did love it. He did love being on. I personally hate spinning records. I mean, seriously, it might be the worst job in the world. I mean, you know, some guy digging a ditch right now would say, no, but it is. It's awful.
Well, I know. I was in broadcasting school, and they sat me in one of those booths and said, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 records on a turntable, you're going to talk between them, and I thought it was horrible.
Jane, what was Jack doing, a music shift?
Yeah, he was filling in for Dean Anthony, who he used to work with as a WMCA good guy.
Right.
Who was on vacation.
So Jack was doing a fill-in show.
Right.
And as you know, I'm sure Jack must have told you a million times, Jack had FU money.
Right.
And therefore, he didn't really need to work full-time.
You didn't have to worry about giving him too many shifts.
That's
hey,
right.
I'll tell you one thing right about our business. How many people, since this news broke, have called you looking for Jack's fill-in work? Am I correct?
No one.
Oh, come on.
No,
You're kidding.
not yet.
You mean Maria Melito hasn't called?
Now, so Jack was going to be on for a whole week or something?
He was on since a week ago Tuesday.
Oh, yeah,
and
week's
he would have
work.
been on through Friday, and
Right.
then he would do his regular shift on Saturday and Sunday.
You were overworking Jack. That was the problem.
No,
Jack wasn't used to getting 2 weeks in a row.
He loved it. He needed more FU money, I guess.
He certainly did. But he was a really nice guy. He was one of the few guys. I mean, I can't think of another disc jockey that I liked at NBC except for Jack. He was like a nice guy.
Right, because by that time there weren't even overnight people there.
Yeah. He could be annoying, though. I mean, he didn't mean it, but when I got fired, he called every night. I mean,
And not only that, wasn't he always around with advice?
Yeah, too much
Here's
advice.
what you got to do, and
Yeah.
this is how you got to play it.
And I was like, Jack, no offense, I'm doing a lot better than you. I mean, if I take your advice, I'll be at WHLI.
Well, hey, come on.
No offense, you know what I mean, Jane. In other words, I want to be on a station, a bigger station.
But is this the inevitable for every disc jockey?
Well,
yes, I'm going to be at WHLI someday. It's going to happen to me. I know.
Jack was there filling in for a guy he used to work with.
Yeah, I'll be doing fill-in work on WHLI. That's going to be my nightmare.
For Cope.
But if you're going to go, that's the way to go.
Actually, I used to drive, when I was a kid growing up, I used to drive by that transmitter. I go, oh, maybe I should go over and try and volunteer at WHLI.
Yeah.
And then I turn it on, and actually the station sounded so good because they had all these old disc jockeys who had really professional. I said, I can't be there. They sound too good.
Well, Howard, we now have an opening on the weekends.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to Jack, but I might as well take his opening. I mean, you know, every disc jockey needs work. WHLI, ladies and gentlemen, good morning with you. How are you? So, Jane, were you there when Jack died?
We were all here. And
what time of the day was it?
Yeah,
it was about 20 minutes to 12, and he was spinning a record, as you would say.
Right.
Louis Prima and Keely Smith, I'm in the Mood for Love, and all of a sudden it went to dead air.
So when did it?
So you on since 10?
Right. So you flipped out because you heard dead air, and you said, "Hey, what's with this guy? He's not a professional."
The programming secretary ran in thinking maybe he had snuck into the stairwell to have a cigarette.
Right.
And when she went into the studio, he had already collapsed on the floor.
He was on the floor.
Yeah, about 3 members of the staff applied CPR.
And that's who you want doing CPR to, you disc jockeys.
Oh.
You know, that's too bad. You know, listen, disc jockeys, what do they know about CPR? You know what I'm saying?
Disc jockeys that want his job.
Right, yeah.
Well,
those are the worst kind.
Yeah, are they really trying?
Hey, how hard did they try? Hey, I think he's
they
gone.
tried very
Hey,
hard.
he's got 5 more days left of work. You know how competitive disc jockeys are.
They weren't disc jockeys.
Well, I'm saying
they were the support staff.
Right, I understand. I don't mean to tease, but
right.
And then the Garden City Police came and they did everything they could. And
did you guys get another record on the air?
Absolutely. The show
How
must
long?
go on.
I know the show, but they did I mean, sir, I don't want to sound like I'm making light of it because it is serious. I mean,
Somebody went behind the console and put another CD.
Right, but while Jack was on the floor.
Yes. I mean, everybody did what they had to do.
You mean someone actually went over to so who did they attend to first? Would they attend to Jack or did they attend to the record?
There was like 4 people in the studio.
So 3 were on Jack and 1 was on the turntable.
Right.
And then somebody step over and get on mic and go, ladies and gentlemen, WHLI? Or did anybody call up and complain where was Jack?
No, not at that point.
That's the rotten thing in this business.
Yeah, they don't even ask about you.
You know what?
It's
the phone
terrible.
may have been ringing, but we probably weren't answering at that point.
Yeah, people were calling, where's our music?
Yeah.
How long was there dead air, would you say?
Probably not even 30 seconds.
Well, it is. Jack was a good guy, man. He really was.
Great guy.
He was one of the WMCA good guys.
He was great.
And he never let you forget it either.
Never.
No.
WMCA.
Wonder what it was like for him, though, when people, young kids would start bossing around telling him what to do. Because I know he didn't like that.
Well, they didn't do that here.
No?
They respected him. He came in with his head held high every time he walked through the station.
Right. So in other words, you come in, Jack's laying on the floor, someone changes the record. What record did they put on?
We don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then the police came, and then
But he had to be in the way. I mean, seriously, he was 6'3", 200 pounds.
How big is the studio?
Yeah.
The studio's not that big, but he was behind the console, and nobody could really see him.
Oh, so in other words, he was under the console.
He's, well, sort of in the back. I mean,
Wow.
you know, I mean...
So you were able to like someone had to step over Jack. I'm just trying to understand. I know it sounds kind of weird why I'd be involved in these details. I'm just
but only
curious.
you, Howard.
I know. I'm just curious how this whole works. You see a guy laying on the floor there. He's out, and you don't know if he's dead or alive.
We don't
Was
know.
his eyes open?
I don't know.
Did someone have to close his eyes?
I don't know.
You didn't look.
No.
I would have looked.
Was he laying on his back or his stomach?
He was laying in a dignified position. That's all I can say.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't stare.
Right. And then you guys threw the record on, and then administered CPR, and then the cops came.
Right.
And they took Jack out.
They took him out in the ambulance, and we followed to the hospital, and that was it.
But the whole time the person was now playing music, people were working on Jack, right?
Right.
Right.
Oh.
Did someone have to do announcing while they were working on Jack? Because you guys break between every song, right?
Oh, we probably played jingles and threw in commercials. We probably don't know what we ran. But we were on the air.
Well, that's very professional.
Oh, well.
Listen, the show's got to go on.
Absolutely. And Jack would have wanted it that way.
Absolutely. Jack would want it that way. He would want his shift finished out in a professional way.
What would you say is the average age of your disc jockey staff?
Yeah, what they do is they wait for these guys to get old and they get them on. You're
Well,
smart.
they're young at heart.
Has this ever happened before? Has anybody else died on the air?
Is this
Not
a
that I
usual
know of.
occurrence?
You know, you keep saying Jack died doing what he loved to do, but I don't know.
Well, since he had FU money, I figured
guess he did
Jack
love it.
Did want to be there.
He did.
You want to know something? The pressure of keeping those records on the air is enough to give me a heart attack. I'm being serious now.
And when you're not doing it every day.
When I was a disc jockey, I used to have nightmares about the record running out.
Just imagine you, who hasn't spun records
Right.
in quite some time.
I ought to do a disc jockey shift just one time here to prove how bad I am at it.
And not only that, just how rusty you get
Yes.
when you don't do it every day.
Well, for Jack, it was like riding a bicycle. Get right back in the saddle.
Yeah, he loved it. He talked to the listeners and he gave away prizes and.
Hey, do you have an air check? Do you have a tape of Jack's last shift?
No.
You guys don't run a Metro Tech?
No.
Well, what the hell's that all about?
No, we don't do it.
You guys lost that? That's important.
I know.
You guys got CDs or records?
CDs.
I'm sure CD technology vexed him. He did not like the newfangled.
Oh, he got used to it.
Did he?
Yeah, he just didn't like no smoking in the building. That's what he.
Yeah.
didn't
One thing
like.
about Jack, he liked to smoke.
So he used to have to sneak out of the studio and take a smoke, huh?
Yeah. Smoked like a fiend.
Well, yeah. You see. That's what I tell Scott the engineer. Same thing's going to happen to him.
But why would a guy, we were talking earlier about how Jack had already beaten cancer once.
I know.
Why
And
would
he had
still be
triple
smoking?
bypass surgery in 1983.
Yeah, he did.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He got confident. He says, "Hey, I beat this stupid cancer. It's not so rough."
I'm invincible.
Right. He had cancer of the eye. Did you know that?
Yep.
You really knew him.
I knew him since 1980.
And there was no romance between the two of you.
Absolutely not.
Jack was
listen,
a
I don't
married
know.
Man. You
I don't know
that.
if Jack is
Used
a
to
married
talk
man.
about his lovely wife all the time.
Yeah, Marilyn's delightful. And his three lovely daughters.
Well, it's just hard for a woman to resist Jack. I thought maybe you fell under his spell. That's all it is.
Jack, you know how you're always saying that you don't like to think of your wife going off and now spending all your money. Well,
Right.
Jack left plenty of money around.
He did. Well, he was a decent man. He had 3 daughters. Jack and I used to talk about it. I had 3 daughters. He had 3 daughters. Well, I had
So
2
we'll
at
have
the
to
time.
find out when the lovely
When is-
Mrs. Spector will start dating again.
Oh, that would be terrible. Please, let's hope she doesn't.
Please.
Let's hope she doesn't.
Give the woman a rest.
You're not kidding.
She had a tough day yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So did we all.
I know.
So
When
we're
is the
gonna miss
funeral?
him in the industry.
When is the funeral?
It's tomorrow. We don't have the details yet.
Well, I want to go down as saying that Jack was a friend of mine, and I like Jack.
And he liked you.
Yes, he did.
And he's going to be missed in the industry, and he's really going to be missed here.
Hey, how's it at the station today? Everybody's still a little...
Everybody rallied yesterday, I'll tell you. And today it's business as usual. We're a little bit more somber than usual.
Right. Yeah, well, it's kind of eerie going into a studio.
Yeah, and not seeing Jack in the coffee room at 9:30 getting ready. And he was great.
You get me depressed.
I can't help it.
All right. I'll see you.
Well, thanks for the tribute you did this morning. It was very nice.
Yeah, he was a real nice guy.
Okay.
Well, thank you for calling.
Hey, and that was really nice of you to call in.
Well, yeah.
I'll even give your station a plug. WHLI, WHLI. How do you like that?
Perfect. Thank you.
Because you're a nice woman.
Okay.
I'd like to work for you.
Okay. I told you, I got a shift open on Saturdays and Sundays.
Can I call in about if Jack's fill-in work hasn't been filled? As a tribute, I'd like to do his shift today. Hey, that'd be cool. I'll go over to WHLI today and do his shift.
Can you get
I
there?
don't know if the audience could handle it.
No, I mean I would do it like Jack would do it. I would do it in tribute to him. I'm going to do his sign-off. What was his sign-off again?
Look out, street.
Here I come.
Look out, streets. Here I come.
Jake.
Your main man, Jake. I'm going to play my phony phone call I made to him tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was great.
I don't know that one.
When we were on NBC, he had a sports talk show, but Jack knew nothing about sports. So he never used to get any good calls. Everyone was like all pissed off. So me and Fred used to go and back to my house, and after our show, we would go home, we'd eat some dinner, and make phony phone calls to Jack. And he loved our call. He'd keep me on for 10, 15 minutes at a time, not know it's me.
And that was the race. It was always to see how long you could stay on with Jack any given night.
Then he'd come in the next day and go, I can't believe that was you.
Oh, I love it.
I was so happy with that call.
Oh, I love it.
It was great.
I love it.
I'll play that tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Well, thanks for coming on the air.
Okay, and thank you both.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Jane. She had a rough day yesterday. You know, finding one of your jocks dead in the
Well,
studio.
yeah, that's a very tough thing, I would imagine.
Yeah. Everyone's dropping like flies.
A lot of death going on.
I hope it never happens where I walk in and Allison Steele is there behind the console.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Better hope that Allison Steele doesn't walk in and find you.
That's right. Because that would mean I would be doing overnights. Well, there it is. There's the full story. I think we asked every rude question. Jack, she's not sure if his eyes were open, but Jack was on the floor. And
in a dignified position.
In a dignified position, they stepped over his head and put the record on. Life goes on. Well, must go on.
And while they were spinning those records, there was somebody working on Jack.
3 disc jockeys were working on Jack. Jocks who all wanted his job. Well, can't revive him. Hey, you hardly tried.
Where's that bumper sticker book?
Hey, does that mean someone needs to fill in for the rest of the week?
I think he moved. No, he didn't.
You know what? We ought to quiz those people who were given the CPR to see if they know anything about it.
Well, in all fairness, she did say
$7.25 an hour.
It wasn't disc jockeys; it was staff.
Well, I don't know what staff that was.
As long as it wasn't interns.
Does anybody on this crew know CPR?
Yeah, Fred. And don't rely on it when you need it. All right, let's take a break.
I mean, I haven't been certified in years.
I think we ought to do the news and save the NAMBLA tapes for tomorrow.
You got to play me at least a little piece. Did they make a speech?
Oh, man, this is the best stuff you'll ever hear. Hello, boys.
How can you make me wait?
What's great about it is they make a speech, and you don't know what the hell they're talking about. Everything is, like, weird. You know, when you're trying to defend the fact that you're a boy lover.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting, it's just an interesting
You
approach.
start off just not making any sense at all.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
Do we get to hear that actual guy? That same guy?
Ricardo.
Oh, Ricardo's there.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, he answers a lot of the questions.
Oh. He just shouldn't be walking around. You know
He should be dead.
Oh.
At least locked up. I don't know how you call a NAMBLA press conference and the police aren't there with a paddy wagon.
But what's weird is the NAMBLA guys were real nice. There was a guy there who's vehement, and congratulations to him. He is anti-NAMBLA, and he almost got into a fist fight with John. Because he started yelling at John, saying John was making light of the NAMBLA situation.
Bringing attention to it.
Yeah, I mean, we bring attention to it every day. Anyway.
I'll have to hear it.
Yeah, you have to hear the whole thing. But we need a good hour to go through everything. It's wild stuff. There's fighting. There's man-boy love. There's every element that would make a great miniseries. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.